watching the News Hour at 9.
A billion hearts broke, the nation came to a standstill, and the visuals of an inconsolable team ISRO with its chief K. Sivan weeping in the arms of Prime Minister 48 hours back left the entire world teary-eyed when ISRO failed to establish contact with lander Vikram during its final descent, just 2.1 kilometers above the lunar surface. But today, the narrative has taken a 180-degree turn. I'm happy to tell you that hopes have been reignited with an ISRO official confirming that Chandrayaan's lander Vikram had been spotted on the moon in single piece. He confirmed that Vikram was unbroken, however, was in a tilted position following a hard landing. That may have caused a mechanical damage. And these are through thermal pictures that have been received from the orbiter, which is still circling the moon. The space agency ISRO maintained that it was trying its best to re-establish communication links with the lander as soon as possible, as the window for doing the same was only 13 more days. All has been confirmed by the orbiter, which took thermal pictures of Vikram as it continued its successful journey. A vital aspect of restoring signal is positioning of antennas, and these have to be pointed towards either the ground station or the orbiter. Some reports now suggest that ISRO may even lower the orbiter to establish contact with Vikram in the days to come. Now, while ISRO has said that it is a difficult operation, heartbeats have begun to race yet again as hopes are soaring high. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the spirit of India. That's the spirit that ISRO has revived. So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question on the News Hour tonight: can the moon mission still be revived? That's the question. And the big hope debate coming up on the other side. Vikram is intact. That's the hashtag, ladies and gentlemen, and our guest on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Dr. Sambit Patra, National Spokesperson of the BJP, D. Sasikumaran, former ISRO scientist, Wing Commander Ajay Lele, Senior Fellow, Institute of Defence Studies and Analysis, Karan Kamble, Senior Sub-Editor, Swarajya, Dr. Puragra Guha Thakurta, Professor of Astronomy and Astrophysics, astronomer, also joining us live from Washington, Laura Forsyth, space consultant, also with us tonight. But first, let me go on to the authority, Dr. Puragra Guha Thakurta. Dr. Puragra Guha Thakurta, I want to ask you, are we right as Indians to hope for some re-establishment of a contact with lander Vikram, given the fact that thermal images now show that Vikram landed? Yes, it was a hard landing. Yes, it's a little tilted. But are we right in hoping that there could be a miracle? And miracles often happen when people, a billion people are praying for it.
No, I think you're absolutely right to hope for a positive outcome. The fact that the orbiter is communicating successfully, the fact that the orbiter confirms an intact lander, suggests that there isn't serious external damage. One has to, of course, wait for communication between the lander and either the orbiter or the ground station, as you said. But I think absolutely there is a lot of hope. These are entirely positive signs that have come out since the landing took place a couple of days ago.
All right, so we are hoping, and Laura Forsyth, if I can come across to you, is this hope based on certain specific and scientific inputs? Considering that we've heard from the ISRO insiders that there could be a window that we are operating on, how long this window could be, and what are the chances of some sort of re-establishment of communication links?
Well, the hope is based on our best guess so far. We don't have a lot of information to go on. And so based on the information that we have right now, yes, there's a possibility to hope. But unfortunately, we need a lot more information to figure out why it lost contact, how far it dropped, how damaged it is, and if any of the systems or instruments can be in working order. And so we're going to need a lot more time for ISRO to process what happened in order to figure out how we can maybe have a partial success from this landing.
So, Dr. Thakurta, what are our chances? We were talking about a 95% successful mission, but now with the knowledge of the orbiter thermal visuals, we know that Vikram has landed on the lunar surface. Now we could call the mission 98% successful, but establishment of the communication links, what are our chances now?
I don't know. As Laura said, time will tell. Even if I were a betting person, and I'm not, I would hate to put an exact percentage on it. It's too early to tell. The signs are good. The outward signs, literally, are good. But whether there's been internal damage, whether the communication systems for the lander are functional or not, only time will tell. 30 days is a long time, and that window, and I'm encouraged to hear that one of the considerations, possible considerations, is to go to a lower orbit, to a lunar orbit for the orbiter. These are all steps in the right direction, but only time will tell.
All right, let me get in Dr. D. Sasikumaran. Dr. D. Sasikumaran, if the ISRO is successful in lowering the orbit of the orbiter, the distance reduces. Do you think this is going to give us a better chance? And what would you put these chances of re-establishment of links, communication links with Vikram in terms of the realm of possibility of how much of that can we really hope for?
See, there are two things. One is that the resolution of the camera, which is there in the as a payload, is of the highest accuracy thing. So that is going to collect the data in a very sensible, very accurate way. So that way the experiment will not suffer to any extent at all. Now the laser reflector is a payload which is there, and that is independent of the communication being established or not established. It's going to function really, and we are going to get some data out of that with whatever is happening, whether it is soft landing, hard landing, whatever it is. Now the very fact that it is in one body, one intact as one single body, it clearly tells that it is very near to soft landing. Probably the surface on which it has landed is not flat enough. It might have tilted. So that's my perception. I still hope that we will be able to come back in this program slowly, maybe in a day or so, because a lot of telemetry data is available, undergoing some analysis on that. So we hope. I mean, our job is just definitely wait. We are going to get some good result. That's my expectation.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's not unscientific to be filled with hope, because you've heard from experts that they're hoping as well, and therefore there is a scientific basis on which this hope is built. So let me get in Group Captain Ajay Lele. Group Captain Ajay Lele, the fact is, the statement that's come from within the ISRO is that Vikram landed close to the designated spot, which means that the entire mission is within the realm of a little bit of error that would have been factored in. Do you think at this point a billion plus people in India who are hoping for a re-establishment of contact with Vikram are right to do so?
I think hope is always there, and one should not lose hope, because the moment you lose hope, you will stop trying. What ISRO scientists are doing is they are continuously trying, and they are trying just because there is a hope. But keeping that hope part aside, I think one has to be slightly realistic also. I was just checking the ISRO website and the official statements made by ISRO. ISRO is still sticking to an argument that they have found a thermal image and they have found only a lander. The other two inputs, which are extremely good inputs throughout the day, which are doing routes in the media, that one is the landing site, where they have found the lander very close to the landing site, almost 500 meters closer to the landing site, and other input is that lander is intact. If these two inputs are correct, then I am hopeful that something more could emerge. But there is another input which had come that says that the antenna is not correctly positioned. So if you really want to establish the communication, I think now all eyes should be looked at the position of antenna, whether it is correctly been positioned so that either the lander or either the orbiter or the system on the earth at Bangalore is able to establish the contact. So we got another 12 to 13 days in hand, because after that the night is going to come up on the surface of the moon. So there are some time available with ISRO, and let's keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Well, we have our newsroom ringing with phones, and our viewers are calling up. Sukhdev calling in from Dehradun and Sanjay from Delhi. I'll go across to Mr. Sukhdev first. Good evening to you, Mr. Sukhdev. What do you think? What are you hoping for? I know the whole country is hoping for establishment of communication links with Vikram, but what are our chances? Can you actually tell us what you believe?
September, and all the Indians were praying that it will land safely, and we still not ruling out that it will work, definitely work. And this is a country of sons and gurus. Our prayer will not go in vain.
Yes. Yes, prayers. Along with the science come the prayers. Mr. Sanjay, good evening to you. What are you praying for? Are you also praying, and do you have full faith that your prayers will be answered?
Good evening, ma'am. I am 100 because it is backed by a set of people who are really competent and of international caliber. But I was just wondering, one aspect was that why did the communication loss happen when the lander was 2.1 kilometers above the surface?
Well, yes, 100% hopeful. That's how India should be. Also joining me tonight, Harish calling me from Noida, and Sandeep from Nagpur. Sandeep, to you first. Maharashtra mein kya sthiti hai? How are people praying for re-establishment of communication links with the lander Vikram?
Madam, my point is, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my point is, everything went fine. Vikram, the lander has landed, but it is in a tilted position. Having been in tilted position, you need mechanical force to make it straight, so that the pragyan can come out. Without the pragyan coming out, we will not be able to achieve what we had thought of by the Vikram landing on the moon. Orbiter is taking its photos, that is fine. But pragyan can only come out if the lander is straight.
Fair point.
Position, there is nowhere you can make it straight. Tilted you cannot make by any means. This is what I want to say.
Fair point. Thank you, Sandeep. Harish, what do you think?
Evening, Navika. I am Harish Toka.
Good evening, sir.
I've been watching the program very closely. It was said that the lander is equipped with artificial intelligence. So doesn't it mean that when the contact with the lander was lost, communication link, the artificial intelligence would have checked it and guided lander to the lunar surface? Or did our artificial intelligence system also collapse?
All right. Let me take that question to our experts on the panel. Professor Thakurta, two questions coming your way. Unless Vikram comes back to the straight position rather than the stilted position that we've just got reports for, do you think Pragyan, the rover, can come out and perform the duty that it was meant to perform?
So it really depends on what the tolerance is for Pragyan, the rover, to come out of the lander. There is obviously some degree of tolerance. The tilt is never perfect. So exactly what that tolerance is and whether the current position of the lander is within that tolerance is something that I don't have detailed information on. The other question that was asked was about artificial intelligence. And of course, artificial intelligence is a very broad term. It encompasses a wide range of things. Exactly what that artificial intelligence on the lander is designed to do is limited, of course. It's not capable, it's capable of certain things and it hasn't been programmed for other things. So this is where the uncertainty lies, exactly what it's capable, to what extent it's capable of righting itself, to what extent that's needed for the rover to emerge are questions that I don't have detailed answers for.
All right, so let me get in Dr. Sambit Patra and Karan Kamble also into the debate. And Dr. Sambit Patra, we are 97 or 98% there. Do you think this country is now hoping for a miracle, and is this miracle based on science or is this really based on our faith in the gods and our faith in ISRO?
See, Navika, first and foremost, I would say that today we don't have a debate, we have a discussion, and it's a very different kind of scenario. And I was thinking as to why I, a politician, spokesperson of a political party at all in this discussion, because we have experts, and rightly so. It's a day when the experts should be commenting, politicians should try their least in this debate. But anyhow, since I'm over here, I have a couple of points to make. Number one, see, as far as a layman is concerned, I today am a layman amidst the crowd of the beautiful the experts that you have over here. So as a layman, we all thought that, well, probably the Vikram might have exploded, it might have been devastated, it might have been destroyed. So this comes as a blow of fresh air to us that no, Vikram is not destroyed, it is still there, it is intact, and it has landed on the surface of moon. So this is encouraging. Secondly, what I was thinking is it's not just probably the Indians who are praying. I believe people world across, because scientists don't generally belong to a clan or a country, they are borderless. Scientists think for the betterment of humanity. So across the length and breadth of this globe, scientists would be praying, would be putting in their brains, and would be seeking out ways as to how Vikram could finally establish communication. So it's not just ISRO. I believe humanity is praying for it. The whole scientific world is praying for ISRO, and best of luck to ISRO. Thirdly, I would like to suggest one thing, that let's not put too much pressure on ISRO, because already ISRO is under lot and tremendous amount of pressure. Well, we can discuss about miracles, we can discuss about good things, and we can keep our fingers crossed for the tomorrow that within this 13 days we may have good news delivered to us. But I would say that this whole Chandrayaan2 mission was a miracle in itself, that in a short span of time, indigenously designed module, less money spent. Money which was spent on the movie Interstellar was probably more than the money spent on Chandrayaan mission 2. So in this kind of atmosphere, what ISRO has done is something not less than a miracle itself. So let's not put ISRO and the scientists of ISRO under any more pressure. And lastly,
we don't mean to put any pressure. We don't mean to put any pressure. But we only want to say, as a country, Karan Kamble, yeah. But Karan Kamble, as a country, we only feel we're standing shoulder to shoulder with our scientists. They are the brains. We probably behind them will just put our hands together and pray to the gods that their hard work is repaid, because this country is looking for good news, looking for some reward to all that hard work. A completely indigenously made moon mission by our scientists is something that India is very proud of, even what has been accomplished so far. But if that communication link is established, it's a country of hope. It's a country where India is all about looking at the positivity and looking at the ray of hope, because ये हमारा जो देश है ये उगते हुए सूरज को रोज सुबह प्रणाम करता है.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's been some talk about hope and whether there are any past cases where such a miracle has fructified or materialized, and it has. I cast your mind back to the 2004 ESA mission, the Rosetta Philae mission, which was set to land on a comet, in fact. And a comet's gravity is way lesser than that of the moon. And the lander actually crash landed, and it relayed a signal for a while and then went dead. And it took about a year for it to actually come back on, and it was able to sort of do whatever experiments it could during that time, and actually was able to communicate back a year later. So we do have a past instance in the ESA mission, for example, where I don't think we are hoping against hope in this case. There is absolute possibility. We still have time to figure out what we can in this mission. And I'm sure, of course, missions vary, the details, the circumstances vary, but there are past instances like the ESA case where there is total possibility of establishing contact.
Well, that's right, Karan Kamble. There is empirical evidence, and let me get in. Debashish joining us from Guwahati. So we have hopeful people from Nagpur to Guwahati, from Delhi and Kashmir down to Kanyakumari. And Debashish, what's your wish and what do you think?
Yeah, good evening, Naviga. It's Debashish from Guwahati.
Good evening, sir.
Don't call me sir. I'm a very small people. I just want to tell one thing, that we have still some hope that the communication will be established.
Okay.
And we are hopeful that within 13 days, not even 13 days. It's I think what I think that within 2-3 days the communication will be established with the lander, with the orbiter.
Are you basing this on your hope or on astrology?
No, it's not astrology. I am basing on my hope.
All
Actually,
right.
First day when the thing has happened, there was no communication with the lander, with the orbiter. I have made a message. Means I have sent a message in my Facebook account that still we have some hope. And right now, what I am seeing that the hope.
Yes,
some hopes, and
yes, there are 1.3 billion Indians who are hopeful, and I have down south Sarvesh from Bengaluru. And Sarvesh, are you also hoping, and are you hoping that our prayers will be answered?
Yeah, first of all, thanks to Times Now, you are giving a lot of details, which is really helpful for the country. Yes, I am hopeful that orbiter will be able to establish the contact. It's not just India; it's the entire world. The scientific community is praying that the link should be established. But I am hopeful that ISRO would have Plan B. They would have done risk mitigation. Probably they should switch over to Plan B and make sure that we have a contact.
Yes, I'm sure a Plan B and a Plan C is going to kick in, but yet another Indian joining us, this time from New York, and it is our own Anupam Kher. Anupam Kher, good morning to you. You're in New York. It's good evening for us. Thank you for joining me on the Newshour, Mr. Anupam Kher. And we're talking about a billion people today hoping and praying that contact and communication links with Vikram will be re-established. What do you think about this hopeful India, this spirit of India?
What I think this whole exercise has done is brought the feeling of all Indians get together, we are all together, and I think I'm an eternal optimist and I have great faith in ISRO, and I'm sure we will re-establish our connection with Vikram, and it's going to roll all over again. I personally also feel that we have already achieved what we set out to achieve. Now it's just a matter of one or two things going right. As ISRO sent their feeling that 95% of the mission is successful. 95% of the mission is successful and 100% Indians have come together in this. So which is a win-win situation in both. And I think as the speaker before me very well said, that it's not only India which is looking at it but it's the whole world who is, everywhere I go in New York and people say, oh, what an achievement, what a fantastic thing to have happened, it's amazing. It also proves that we are not anymore a country of which West wants to sort of project sometime, a country of either slums or either snake charmers or elephants. We are the fourth nation who have reached over there.
So Anupam Kher, do you think the fact that this has happened at a time when there is a huge raging debate in our country, where we seem to be a society that's so divided and at loggerheads, and there seems to be, or at least there is this attempt to try and make it as a clash of ideologies. At a time like this, when, as you say, 100% of Indians have come together, do you think that's the way to go forward? You know, pray together, achieve together, and move together to a better India?
Yeah, I think in theatre, before we are about to go on the stage, we all get together. At that time, nobody is from any particular community, nobody is from any other caste or any religion. We get together for the event to go successfully, and that's what I don't know who are the people who are divided or something like that. There are certain people, for them I will always say that they are pretending to sleep, so don't even try to wake them up. Ignore them. I think I know and you know, and people, how all of us got together on that particular day when it was to land, and that's important. At this time, it's not important. Even if people who are 1.1% who are paying any attention to the controversy, I think they should be completely ignored. But it's a great moment of triumph for Indians, and I'm 100% sure that ISRO will be able to establish connection, and it's something to rejoice with. Means how many countries there are, I don't know how many countries are there in this world, how many developing countries are there who have not reached this situation, how many countries who are much ahead, who have got independence 100 years back. We have just 72-year-old country. Look at the graph that we have achieved. I think let's not sort of say that we are born in 1947. How many countries who are born in 1947 around that have achieved this? This is the spirit of India which has managed to do that. Of course, our scientists are doing amazing things, but they discovered the whole India is with them. Look at the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I will never get that visual out of my mind. The way he was holding.
And that's what I want to ask you. And that's what I want to ask you, Anupam Kher, because scientists are also human beings. And you saw the ISRO chairman when he met the Prime Minister a few hours after, we lost contact with Vikram. He met the Prime Minister once again in the morning and he broke down. He is human, carrying a whole lot of responsibility. What did you think about the Prime Minister's response?
I thought, first of all, the Prime Minister's speech was phenomenal. I think that was the most motivational speech that I have, one of the most amazing motivational speeches I have heard. I think that should be a textbook of motivation in the world. And then for ISRO chief to break down showed that there is a person behind it. There is a person who has his aspiration, who has worked so hard for the country, for himself, and for him to break down and then Prime Minister to console him. I think that showed the togetherness side of one side, the head of the country, and the other side, the head of the research center. It was unbelievable to see that. I still think of that and I get tears in my eyes, because I think that made me feel that, wow, what an amazing country we are. We don't hold back our emotions and we are going to give our best to achieve anything for our country. I think that visual, I said, one would have been actually landing, but it got replaced with a beautiful thought of the head of the 1.3 billion people with this frail gentleman who must have given how he must have spent and his team of scientists, how they must have spent their nights, days working towards it. It's like sending a child to the orbit, and the child is lost. That child is lost. You develop emotions. We see movies like E.T. and we see movies like Space People, and we get involved with them. There was this Vikram lander who became a child of the whole nation, and that visual of Prime Minister and Mr. K. Sivan holding each other and him consoling I think is one of the most beautiful moments and country we saw that day. I still get teary-eyed thinking of that. I don't know what, there was something very emotional, something very moving, something very gratitude-wise. It was an amazing feeling. It was a sense of loss, where somebody has lost, the whole country has lost connection. It's just a connection. And then the head of the family comes and sort of says, don't worry, it will happen. It's fine.
That's right. That's right. That's the spirit of India. That's the spirit of hope, Anupam Kher. And this is a country where our scientists, our people, our 1.3 billion people have their minds that are working, but they haven't lost the communication link between their minds and their hearts. And that's the important part of India. We wear our hearts on our sleeves and we are proud to do it. Thank you very much, Anupam Kher, for joining me from New York. Let me get in the last word from Laura Forsyth. Well, we lost the link with her, but Professor Thakurta, as Mr. Anupam Kher put it out so eloquently, and only an actor can put it out like that, this is a country where the scientists have worked so hard. They have their mind, their intelligence, but they also have a heart, and that's what we saw in those visuals when the ISRO chairman broke down and the Prime Minister actually consoled him, hugged him, and that, he said, is the real quality of leadership.
Look, I know it was mentioned that nights and days, but it's really years, decades of work by a large team that results in a mission like this. You've talked about 95 or 98% success. You have to think about the numerator and the denominator when you're calculating a percentage. The denominator is such a huge and complex task, but to get so far of the way there is a momentous achievement. And I agree with our previous guest who said that this is human endeavor. It's not about, scientists are without borders in this true respect. It's really an achievement for all of humanity. Goes beyond India alone.
That's right. It's about the dreams of India. It's an achievement of the entire humanity, and we Indians are not scared to show our emotions, and we Indians are not scared to show that we pray even as we talk about scientific endeavors and scientific achievements. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me on this big story of hope. Vikram is intact, and we'll continue to play that over the next 12 days, we re-establish communication links, and we as a country will be on top again. Thank you very much. Going across to debate number 2 on the other side. On to the other big debate tonight, ladies and gentlemen. In less than 24 hours from now, Pakistan will be presenting its case against India in front of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. Pakistan Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi is all set to raise Kashmir at the world platform. But the irony is that back home, Pakistan's own atrocities know no bounds. Times Now has accessed nearly 3 videos which are testament to how innocent civilians are being held by the throat to toe a Pakistani line. In the first video, one can see Pakistani army forcing locals to breach the line of control and attack Indian border posts. In this video number 2, one can clearly see civilians from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir being used as human shields. And if that's not all, in the third video, Pakistanis can be seen raising slogans against the butchery of their own army, against their own army's vardi. which is uniform. Well, we're also getting information that outside the Geneva headquarters of the United Nations Human Rights Council, there are posters that have just come up. We're bringing to you those visuals on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Amidst all this, these are the visuals that are coming in, and we're also hearing that 200 terrorists are in their launch pads trying to get into India, and genocide in Balochistan and Pakistan occupied Kashmir is what is being spoken about at the Geneva headquarters of the UNHRC. So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question on the news hour tonight is simply this: can Pakistan preach human rights to India with its own track record that is in tatters? That's the question and the big debate. Hashtag Pak Human Rights Sham. Coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining Dr. Sambit Patra on the Newshour Debate tonight is RSN Singh, author and strategic affairs expert, and our two guests from Pakistan, Omar Altaf, journalist, and Raja Kaisar, political analyst. I want to ask you, Raja Kaisar, what is the business of Pakistan trying to preach human rights to India when your own track record actually stinks? It stinks because everybody knows, and this has been endorsed by your own Prime Minister, Mr. Imran Khan, in a video that was released just about 5 days ago, where he himself has said that his Pakistan army has butchered people in Balochistan. और दूसरा, आप जैश ए मोहम्मद के चीफ जो हैं मसूद अजहर को आज छोड़ रहे हैं. मसूद अजहर के हाथ पर कितने लोगों के खून हैं? यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ह्यूमन राइट्स.
Okay, well, I'm really befuddled the kind of vitriolic propaganda you are making through your channel, because the fact of the matter is that Pakistan has not imposed any curfew in any part of its land, whereas India has imposed a suffocating curfew for last 35 days and it goes unabated. And the entire world is watching this development.
Butchering of people versus curfew.
And okay, just hold on for a second. Okay, the butchering goes unabated in India as well. The way people were butchered in 1984 is not gone missing from history. The kind of genocide which you are committing in Kashmir is again something which is an appalling story. What is happening to people in Assam, what is happening to people in Nagaland, it is again something which the entire world is taking notice of. It is not myself who has issued 2 reports on human rights, blatant human rights violations. It is Amnesty International, it is Genocide Watch, which is giving a threat alert of an impending genocide in Kashmir.
Dr. Sambit Patra,
how can you actually,
Dr. Sambit Patra,
how can you actually, bamboozle your own public with a very
the Pakistanis are befuddled.
Allow me, sir. Allow me. Okay. Navika, first and foremost, there is an unsolicited advice of mine to the Pakistani guests over here. Ironically, I was astonished today when I was watching the news channels today that they have probably sent a belly dancer to collect money for them as far as investment in Pakistan is concerned. I'm doubtful that they're going to send Masood Azhar to United Nations to speak for human rights and genocide there. I hope they don't do that.
You should also
they don't
take care of your economy because it is going down at a very brisk pace.
ये भिखमंगे इकोनॉमी के बारे में बात न करें सर, प्लीज सर, यू लर्न सम कर्टसी सर. Did the Indian guests did the Indian guests interfere when you were speaking? Have you not? No, have your schools not taught to? No, have your schools not taught you any courtesy, sir? Did we interfere when you were speaking? Did we shout you down, sir? Please learn some courtesies, sir. We are a country of courtesies. We don't interfere when you speak. Please allow me to complete and then you can shout. Navika, coming to a point or two which is extremely important. Over here, as far as genocide is concerned, if they don't want to heed what the Indians say, at least they should heed to what Kanwar Qureshi, their own lawyer who represented Pakistan in ICJ in Kulbhushan Jadhav case, had to say a couple of days ago. In the case of genocide, Kanwar Qureshi said categorically that Pakistan is going to lose out if Pakistan is going to cry in front of the UNHRC or in the International Court of Justice, because Pakistan does not have an airtight case. This is not the Indian saying it, sir. This is your own lawyer who represented you in ICJ saying. Number two, as far as vitriolic propaganda is concerned, now tell me which president in the whole universe, which president in the whole world comes out to say in their Independence Day that let us wage jihad against any other country. Well, it was your president, Mr. Arif, who on 14th of August this year said that let us wage jihad against India. Sir, chai pijiye na, sir. घर में चाय मिलने वाला नहीं है सर. सर, चाय बिस्कुट इमरान खान ने बंद करवा दिया है. आप कृपया करके यहाँ पर चाय पीजिए. चिल्लाइए मत. अरे चिल्लाइए मत. अरे सुनिए चाय पीजिए यहाँ मत चिल्लाइए. इमरान खान has stopped even biscuits and tea to be served in meetings. So please, your economy doesn't even support tea and biscuit. यहाँ पर enjoy the tea, sir. Enjoy the tea in the studio. Don't shout over here.
Well, let me get in Omar Altaf. Omar Altaf, अगर आप बेली डांसिंग फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट इन्विटेशन करें तो वो दुनिया की शायद समझ में आ जाए, पाकिस्तानियों की समझ में आ जाए, हमें तो समझ में नहीं आता है. लेकिन हम आपसे पूछना ये चाहते हैं कि जिसका रिकॉर्ड बालूचिस्तान का हो, जिसका रिकॉर्ड पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर का हो, जहां आपके खुद के लोग कह रहे हैं कि एलओसी पे हमें जो ले जा रहे हैं वर्दी वाले, वो हमें ह्यूमन शील्ड्स बना रहे हैं. they say they are being made human shields, sir. This is not Indian, sir. Where have you got numbers of genocide in Kashmir, sir? Kashmir is absolutely peaceful.
You can actually hoodwink your own masses, not us.
Our masses are well informed.
You know, I am from
Our masses are getting treatment. 4 lakh people have been treated in the last 45 days in the hospitals. आपके यहाँ तो मेडिकल हेल्प नहीं मिलती. लोग हिंदुस्तान आते हैं मेडिकल हेल्प के लिए.
20 people, whereas I am referring to those millions of people who are held hostage for last 5 weeks.
RSN Singh,
yes.
Human rights के बारे में अब now India has to learn from Pakistan. Can you tell them their own history in human rights violation?
Narendra Modi as a prime minister,
safe country for the women.
No. When jihadis are a menace for Pakistan, but they become religious warriors when it comes to India. After all, how did they start Zarbe? When Pakistan Taliban, I reiterate, Pakistan Taliban carried out an attack on the army public school. After that, they unleashed Zarbe-Azb, meaning the sword of Muhammad or their own people. How can this be lost on the UNHRC? Now here is a country,
whether they be Muslim,
here is a country
Hindu,
which
or of any other religion, they deserve no mercy.
all sorts of violence and crime. Rape, murder, loot on East Pakistan, which was forced to become Bangladesh, and they still talk of Ummah. You left 1,000 prisoners, prisoners of war. They unleashed violence in Balochistan. You do Zarbe-Azb on your own people, and then you still talk of Ummah. You are compelled to put Masood Azhar behind bars. After all, he is proscribed by the UN. Hafiz Saeed is proscribed by the UN. You release him because your Pakistani military refuses to fight for you. You have made Kashmir. You have made Kashmir into a Muslim issue, an issue of Wahhabization. Your right to Wahhabize the Kashmiri population. Your right. You feel it is your right to carry out jihad in Kashmir.
Mr. Raja Kaisar, may I just tell you some statistics that are there in the public domain. And these are international studies. I'm coming to you, Dr. Sambit Patra. In January 2016, 47 Baloch nationals go missing. 9 Baloch nationals are
take
killed.
note of it. Right now on your channel we had a Pakistani who said that your Prime Minister, that man Modi, should be a dead man. Why are we listening to these idiots over here? Why should we have a panelist who right now said that your Prime Minister, that man Modi, should be a dead man by now? Why are we taking this bunkum talk from an idiot over here? Why should I take? Why should I hear this about
Mr.
my Prime
Raja
Minister?
Mr. Raja
Why should I take? No, why should I take this? Why should I take this
We
about my
are
Prime Minister?
proud.
Who is
We
this idiot?
are proud
Who
of
is
the
this
country
idiot to
that
come
we
and
live
say that
in.
my
We are
Prime
proud
Minister should
of
be a
the
dead man?
democracy that we
Who is
live in.
this? Who
We
is
do
this
not
idiot?
have a
Throw this idiot out of the
sham
channel.
democracy like yours, where your Prime Minister takes orders
No,
from
who
the
is this
army
idiot
chief.
man who says that our Prime Minister should be a dead man? How dare you say that?
Mr. Raja Kesar, Mr. Raja
How dare?
Kesar, apologize because हम तो अपने दुश्मनों की भी ये कामना नहीं करते कि दुश्मनों के साथ भी ऐसे लफ्ज इस्तेमाल हो जैसे आपने किए हैं.
These uncouth, illiterate, uneducated people, they call themselves civilized society. They run to the United Nations crying. You uncouth people, uneducated, illiterate, jahil, gawar.
Your Prime Minister is uncouth. Modi से
How
बड़ा
dare
जाहिल
you?
कोई है?
How dare
मोदी
you?
से बड़ा गवार है?
How dare you come to our media channel and you speak
Mr.
this about our Prime
How
Minister?
dare you call our Prime Minister
Uneducated
uncouth? May I show you what your Prime Minister is? May I show you what your Prime Minister is? If he is not uncouth, I hope you will believe the words that he said. And Nizam Bhai, if we can just play out what Mr. Imran Khan said and that video that we accessed on the 4th of September. Please play out what Mr. Imran Khan said, and then we will ask these Pakistanis on where their truth is. Well, he said, and I can quote him right here saying the statement that he made on the 4th of September, and he said that when Pakistan took action in East Pakistan, I was the one who was standing with the Pakistan army, our brave soldiers who are doing a great job. It was only 3 years later that we realized that our army butchered civilians, women, children, and so we are doing exactly the same thing in Balochistan. These are not our words, sir. This is Imran Khan who said this.
You are just mincing the words, madam. He hasn't said like that. You are just giving the context of your own.
No, I am
That's not the
quoting
case.
him, sir.
Well,
I am quoting what he said.
My God,
Please,
these liars.
please don't interject. Please don't interject. Please don't interject.
I am quoting him from his statement, sir.
No, what? Don't interject. You keep on shouting
You
when
are just detaching the thing from
these
the
guys
context.
keep on shouting when we speak. Don't allow us to speak. I mean, and you say that we should not interject. Let me remind you of the fact you liars went to the United Nations last time on Kashmir and you showed a picture of a Palestinian girl
Hold on, sir.
wounded
Please
in
don't-
Palestine,
don't-
saying
don't
that this was a
directly
picture
name
of a
call.
Kashmiri girl
Don't directly
wounded by
name call.
pellet
I am an
gun.
analyst
You
over
were
here
shunned
today.
by, you were shunned and you were snubbed. You were snubbed by United Nations. Maliha Lodi was the one who was showing that picture. Do you remember that? You nation of liars, you nation of cheats.
I think you should
No, is it not true, sir? Maliha Lodi went with a picture of a Palestine girl. She was showing that girl's picture as the one who was injured. He was injured by pellet wound in Kashmir. And let me tell you, Navika, Abdul Bashit, the former envoy of Pakistan in India, in fact tweeted the picture of a porn artist saying that here is a man who has been wounded in Kashmir here is a man who has been wounded in Kashmir, lost his eyesight because of pellet gun. It turned out to be a porn star. These are the Pakistanis trying to fight for human rights. Abdul Bashit, आपको याद है Abdul Bashit ने क्या tweet किया था? He had tweeted the picture of a porn star, saying that here is a man who has been injured by pellet gun and lost his eyes. Oh my God, these jokers, this bunch of jokers, यहाँ के चिल्लाते हैं, चाय पियो, बिस्कुट खाओ, चाय पियो, वो घर में नहीं मिलने वाला है.
and your
यहाँ के चिल्लाते हैं, बैठ जाइए।
Colonel RSN Singh, human rights की history पाकिस्तान की क्या है? Those who release Masood Azhar, those who have got 200 terrorists on the launch pads, waiting to get into India, and those, as Mr. Ajit Doval has pointed out, those who say that we've seen intercepts, and they say that 20 kilometers along the border, they've been saying, आपने क्या चूड़ियां पहन रखी हैं और ये इतने सारे ट्रक चल रहे इंडिया में, इनको टारगेट करिए. Those people are going to talk about human rights and teach us human rights?
Yes. No, ask them how many Pakistani jihadis have been droned inside Pakistan by the American drones. Just ask them. I can give you a full list. Inside the Pakistani territory, it cannot be lost out on the world. The second thing is, listen, this happens in the wake of abrogation of Article 370. Be very clear. When the founders of the Constitution, the framers of the Constitution, when they inserted Article 370, a temporary provision, they did not ask the Ummah. They did not ask the OIC, which was not even born then. They did not ask the jihadis. So therefore, we didn't know. We still can't believe in this country that you have made a temporary provision of our constitution. You have conflated with Ummah, and very, very unsuccessfully. You tried to conflate it with
How have you treated the Sikh girl who was forcibly converted to Islam? How have you treated her? How have you treated the people in Balochistan? आपकी सारी दास्तान आज जनीवा के बाहर उन पोस्टर्स पे लगी हुई है. आप हमें सिखाएंगे यूनाइटेड नेशंस ह्यूमन राइट्स कमीशन में कौन सा नगमा लेके जाना चाहिए? It is really a sham. I want to just leave you with this statement made by Mr. Imran Khan, your own Prime Minister, when he was not Prime Minister, because तब वो सच कहा करते थे. सुनिए उन्होंने क्या कहा और उसके बाद you will know what is your track record on human rights. Are we bombing our own people? And that's the question Imran Khan is asking his own army just a few years ago. Well, Pakistan, wake up, smell the coffee, because the reality has been spilled by your own Prime Minister. Don't teach India lessons on human rights. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on this big debate. Good night from me. Padmaja Joshi up next. Don't go away.